What's up guys, welcome back to another video, and today we're doing a little something different. I'm taking up the Pokemon franchise. Why? Because I've been in a Pokemon mood for quite a while and I'm rewatching the old episodes. I've decided to do one that's been done before, but I'm gonna throw my own little twist in there, so I hope you guys enjoyed this. Anyways, without further ado, let's jump right into it. In this timeline, Ash wakes up on time and is the third trainer to arrive at the lab. Because of this, Ash is the third trainer to get his starter, meaning Gary, like in canon, gets his choice of Squirtle and some random trainer gets his choice of Bulbasaur. This means Ash gets his third choice and the only choice of Charmander. In the original timeline, Charmander was his third choice, so because he has no other choice, he has to take Charmander. Because Ash got there earlier, that means he gets a starter and someone else is either left with Pikachu or no starter. It's not like it matters, after all, it's later revealed that Ash and Gary are the only two out of the four that actually enter the league, so. After receiving a Pokédex and some balls from Professor Oak, Ash makes his way to Viridian City. On Route 1, Ash runs into a Pidgey, who he tries to battle against. However, Charmander misses his Ember, causing Pidgey to fly away. Both Ash and Charmander look disappointed as their first battle ended with the Pokemon just running away. Shortly after, Charmander points out another Pokemon that they can fight, and when Ash pulls out his Pokédex, it reads off Spearow's entry. Ash, wanting to catch a Pokemon, has Charmander use Ember followed up by a Scratch. This sneak attack puts Spearow down long enough for Ash to throw a Pokeball at it. The Pokeball shakes about 3 times before it stops. And this means Ash has caught his first Pokemon. Ash picks up the ball alongside Charmander and they celebrate as this is Ash's first successful catch. With their first catch, the two of them make their way to Viridian City so they can heal their new teammate. Ash and Charmander only spend a few minutes at the Pokemon Center before they end up leaving. Because of this, we don't have a couple of people following him anymore. Ash never pisses off the flock of Spearow that are there, and Misty's bike isn't destroyed. Meaning Misty doesn't have a reason to follow Ash, and because he leaves the Pokemon Center early, Team Rocket doesn't have a reason to follow him either. In short, Ash's adventure will be kinda different from now on. Inside of Viridian Forest, since Misty isn't around, she never points out Caterpie, meaning that Ash just walks by the Caterpie. However, I do think he would catch himself a Kakuna since they're not too hard to catch. I mean, they're just on trees doing nothing. As Ash is battling a Pidgeotto, he gets interrupted by Samurai, who challenges Ash to a Pokemon battle. Because of Samurai's interruption, Pidgeotto gets away. This causes Ash to get mad and he accepts Samurai's challenge. Ash chooses Charmander to fight against Samurai's Pinsir. Charmander tries his best to keep up with Pinsir, however even with a type advantage, Charmander gets taken out, meaning Ash sends out his second Pokemon, Spearow, to finish the fight in a double knockout. This leaves both of them to use their final Pokemons, Ash's Kakuna versus Samurai's Metapod. This becomes the most thrilling Pokemon battle in history as Kakuna uses Harden and Metapod uses Harden. It's a battle to see who can get the hardest. After 2 hours of both the Pokemon using Harden, Samurai says that they should just call it a draw. This could go on forever. Though Ash is not thrilled about getting a draw, he says yes. Samurai calls him a worthy opponent, however he only won due to sheer luck. Ash gets mad and challenges him to a fight after he heals his Pokemon. They then promise to fight again someday before parting ways. On the outskirts of Pewter City, Ash runs into Flint, who shows him to the nearest Pokemon Center. At the center is where he finds out about the league and finds out about gyms and the gym leaders. Ash decides he wants to participate in the league, and Flint tells him he's gonna have to challenge the gym leader here at Pewter City. From here, not much changes as Ash is still forced to forfeit the match against Brock, as none of his Pokemon are strong enough. Flint decides to help Ash defeat Brock, but instead of supercharging Pikachu, he just helps Charmander level up. Once Charmander learns Metal Claw, Ash decides to go back and face Brock. The match begins with Ash's Spearow versus Brock's Geodude. Because Ash's stupidity, not knowing that flying is weak to rock, Spearow gets taken out. Ash's next Pokemon is Charmander, who he has used Metal Claw. And after landing 2 Metal Claws, Geodude is out. This leaves Brock to send out Onix. And it's a very long, hard-fought battle for Charmander, as he has to evade all the rocks, all the attacks from Onix. However, Charmander just barely manages to pull out a double knockout after Onix uses Tackle and he uses Metal Claw. Brock, after the match, tries to give Ash the Boulder Badge. However, Ash doesn't want to accept it as the battle came out to a draw and doesn't really feel like he won. But Brock still insists as Ash earned it through his kindness to his Pokemon, and technically Ash did beat him.
Nah, I lost to you. You beat me in battle and in being kind to all Pokemon.
Ash, hearing this, accepts the badge, and shortly after, Flint reveals himself to be Brock's father. He tells his son to follow his dreams as he'll stay back and take care of his many kids. This allows for Brock to join Ash on his journey so he can become the best Pokemon breeder ever. On their way to the next city, they have to go through Mount Moon. Inside of Mount Moon, the duo run into Team Rocket for the first time. And because Ash doesn't have his overpowered Pikachu, Team Rocket never takes interest in him. The rest of that episode can pretty much play out the same. From here, not much changes as they make their way to Celadon City. Once he arrives, Ash goes to challenge the gym leader and finds Misty's sisters, who aren't too keen on battling. So they just hand over the badge to Ash without battling. Feeling like he's missed out on some battle experience, he decides to go outside of Celadon City and do a little extra training. He goes on to beat up a couple of Pidgeys and Rattatas to make up for the gym battle. After a few days, Ash and Brock leave Celadon City and run into AJ's gym. Ash would still lose to AJ and become his 100th win, as Ash challenged him twice this time around. After collecting his 100th win, AJ says that he's gonna go collect badges and become a Pokemon Master. Ash responds that I guess that makes us rivals, and he hopes to fight him again someday. From here, we can skip straight forward to when Ash meets Bulbasaur, and not much changes as Ash is the one trying to catch Oddish this time around instead of Misty. The rest of the episode can pretty much play out the same, just a little bit minor difference with Team Rocket not being there. So Bulbasaur joins the team as Ash's 4th Pokemon. One thing that does change in Charmander's story is when the duo first meets him. Ash's Charmander tries to befriend the other one and convince him to leave. However, the Charmander is very stubborn and doesn't want to leave as it's waiting for its trainer to come back. After this, Ash and Brock go to the Pokemon Center to wait out the rain. But of course, the duo does go back to save the other Charmander's life. Eventually, once the Charmander is feeling better, it flees and then comes back to join them. However, when Damien comes back to get his Charmander, Ash's own Charmander gets pissed off enough to evolve and set Damien on fire with the flamethrower, sending him running. Charmeleon then goes on to reassure Charmander that he's in good hands with him. While Ash would like to keep the Charmander, he's already got a Charmeleon, so he offers Brock to take the fire type, as I think personally Brock would be a better trainer for the poor fire type. Unfortunately for Ash, he never gets a Squirtle as the Squirtle squad doesn't team up with Team Rocket. So Ash does run into them, but he doesn't have the chance to befriend Squirtle, meaning he doesn't join the team. The last of the original Pokemon that does join the team is Krabby, since Brock told Ash he needs 6 Pokemon to join the league. From here, they head out to Viridian City to challenge Lieutenant Surge, who bulldozes Ash's Charmeleon. After being defeated so easily, Ash goes off to train and comes up with a new strategy. After realizing Charmeleon can use Smokescreen, Ash has Brock help him test out a new strategy. So after a battle or two, they go to heal their Pokemon and challenge Surge again. When they begin the battle, Charmeleon begins by using Smokescreen and filling the entire battlefield with smoke. This allows for Charmeleon to sneak around the smoke and sneak attack Raichu. Thanks to Raichu always using Thunderbolt and Thundershock, Charmeleon knows exactly where he is. So after a couple of direct flamethrowers and metal claws, Charmeleon finally takes down Raichu. This earns Ash his 3rd badge, the Thunder Badge. Because Team Rocket isn't following them around, they never give Ash those free tickets to the SS Hand.
But we wanted to give our tickets to cool Pokemon fans. Cool!
Meaning we can skip those entire episodes and they head off to Saffron City. The events at Saffron City don't change much as both of his battles with Serena are pretty much the same. As he loses his first fight and then goes to get Haunter, who makes Serena laugh, and he gets the badge. On Route 7, the team stops to get some delicious jelly-filled donuts.
Nothing beats a jelly-filled donut.
When a Mankey shows up and steals Ash's hat. Without Team Rocket around, James never kicks Mankey and it doesn't evolve. Eventually, Ash does catch up to the Mankey, battles it, and captures it. This makes it his 6th Pokemon. So, Ash's Pokemon is currently looking like this: Charmeleon, Spearow, Kakuna, Bulbasaur, Krabby, and Mankey. After this, we can go straight forward to when they get to Celadon City, and of course Ash goes straight to Erica's gym. Because Misty isn't traveling with Ash, he never gets the chance to insult Erica's perfume, meaning he gets to challenge her to a battle with no problems. Using Charmeleon, Bulbasaur, and Spearow, they defeat Erica and move on. Following this, in the episode Hypno's Nap Time, Brock is the one who gets stuck with Psyduck. Other than that, this episode doesn't change much. After these events, Brock gets his Vulpix and they go to the Grand Prix. The events of the P1 Grand Prix does change as Mankey isn't strong enough to win. Because it had never evolved, Mankey gets taken out by Machamp. This also means that Anthony never takes an interest in Primeape, meaning Mankey's gonna stay on Ash's team for the time being. The next set of episodes don't change much as Ash still catches his Muck and fights Koga. Mid-match against Koga's Venomoth, Ash's Kakuna finally evolves into a Beedrill, and the newly evolved Pokemon ends up taking the win. However, Beedrill is still not strong enough and loses against Koga's Golbat. Ash does end up beating Koga's Golbat with the help of Mankey and Charmeleon. From here we can go on to the Safari Zone where in canon Ash catches 30 Tauroses. However, without Team Rocket around, they don't challenge him to see who can catch more Pokemon. Meaning in this timeline, Ash only catches 2 Tauroses and the Rhyhorn he wanted. Following this capture, he switches out Krabby for Rhyhorn. Now let's take a quick look at the episode Attack of the Prehistoric Pokemon. In canon, Team Rocket sets off a TNT and they eventually end up underground with fossil Pokemon. But without them around, Ash doesn't find out about the prehistoric Pokemon, and they still do find that egg that the duo decides to keep and hatch. Eventually this egg hatches into Togepi, and the first person it sees is Brock, thus imprinting on him as its parent. Even though Ash wanted to keep the Togepi, it refuses to come with him, so it joins Brock's team. And for those of you guys wondering what Brock's team currently looks like, it's Geodude, Onix, Zubat, Charmander, Togepi, and Vulpix. Psyduck immediately got sent back to Pewter City because Brock just didn't want to deal with him. Anyways, that's where we're going to be leaving off for today. So originally my plan was to upload one whole video of Ash's entire Kanto journey, but I found out that getting the Pokemon episodes onto my computer was a lot harder than I thought it was going to be. So I decided to split up in 2 parts. The first part as you just seen, and then the next part will be either out next week or at the end of Friday. Part 2 should cover the rest of the badges and the Indigo League. I do have one more Pokemon What If planned, but you're just gonna have to wait on that. It's kind of fanfiction-y, but you're just gonna have to wait on that. Anyways, remember to like, comment, and subscribe, and I'll see you guys later.